Namaste, angels. I'm here to do a quick pick a card reading related to past lives. What from our past lives do we need to address? Whether it is we need to address it because we should be drawing from it, it's a positive contribution that we need to be applying in this lifetime in order to further ourselves, or something that we need to address in order to complete because it is a karmic situation. Karmic as in destined of the universe, involving a lesson at the soul level, and we need to resolve that lesson one way or another. So why am I doing this? Why do I keep coming on here and doing reading after reading? Well, because I'm going to repeat again, this is a very crucial time. And sure, we could say that any time. We could, and somebody who's trying to push something could. I'm not trying to do that, and I assure you, and I'll tell you why, or I'll tell you how. I can assure you of that. What I'm trying to get you to do is to work on yourself, and I'm trying to enable you to, help you to help yourself, or help you to realize that you need my help to help yourself, or somebody else's, or whatever, and that you get you either get your readings or your healing or both within this period. The Lionsgate comes every year, but it's but once per year. So if you don't take advantage of the energy this year, you'll be waiting till next August. The full lunar eclipse that we're about to have on the 27th, along with the Aquarius full moon, this will be the first time in over 100 years it's been of this type and this long. It's over a 4-hour period, and the eclipse itself, the amount of time that the moon will be blacked out, 1 hour and 43 minutes. That's 17 or 8, by the way, equals 17 or 8. This 8 that's been showing up all over the place, and that represents karma, justice, abundance. Okay, that's what I'm trying to help you towards. The 8/11 full solar eclipse also going to be tremendous, and again, I had visions about this that I've shared with you guys. So it's a crucial time, because this time won't be around again. Okay, it hasn't been here like this in over 100 years, and it won't be around again like this in our lifetime. So if you want to take advantage of it and apply it to your life or to your union or both, now is the time. So that's why I'm acting like a lunatic. And I keep coming out here and trying to drill this in, because I'm not sure that I've gotten it across, so that everyone realizes how very pivotal of a point we're at right now. And I think it's important to see exactly where you are in the scheme of things, as an individual, or your relationship or your union as an individual, set aside from all the others. Where are you in that large picture? You can find that out better, or better understand that about yourself and what you need to do going forward through something like a reading. If you know that you've had some struggles that you have not been able to defeat, in the past, that's not a slight against you, but there's help available. And if you would like to try to defeat them, now, and so be ready to start fresh when the rest of us are starting fresh and entering this period with the full solar eclipse, it's all about new beginnings, then, now's the time to be, to be moving toward that. So, that is why, and I hope that you will take my advice and, either take steps to helping yourselves if you're, equipped to do that, or to contacting me so that I can help you, or contacting somebody else who is qualified that can help you with whatever it is you need. We're going to begin with some cards to see where we are, or try to get an idea of where we are through your own intuition. Okay, mine too, because I'm going to intuitively read the cards, and then I'll also read them from the book. But your intuition in choosing which one to which one you feel drawn, which one you feel connected. Beginning with lessons and blessings. So when this card shows up, it means that we were met with quite a few karmic experiences already in past lifetimes, and those have, and for the most part, in most cases, turned out quite well. And so we've been able to bring those positive things with us now into this lifetime to be used toward manifesting blessings. This is where we get our gift of manifestation, where we, our initial understanding of it comes. It doesn't begin with Abraham Hicks, or somebody else. It begins like you have some sort of innate thing, right? Some of us are, again, we're blocking our blessings because we don't follow through with the guidance that is provided and the instructions that are giving. The universe is basically saying, like, warning, warning, we have like another few weeks to prepare. And, a lot of us just like, okay, whatever, and not doing anything about it, or watching or reading and looking, and hoping that means, some really hot chick is going to walk through the door, or a really awesome boyfriend, is going to join us and fall in love with us, and not doing the stuff that's necessary. So this card is about just that. It's about taking all the positive stuff and the lessons that we completed, and using them to acquire blessings in this lifetime, not block them. And opening to baby. This baby may have been your child, or a child close to you. You may be having memories and things of babies. You could be having dreams of babies. And this baby is likely near you now. Not necessarily as a baby, or to ever be your child again if it was your child before, but in some capacity close to you in this lifetime, or will be. And it can come back as a child, it can be a child you have in the future that, again, you might even be thinking about. And hopefully, like, this will give you some sort of jump start to try to start figuring out how exactly this baby might be connected to you. Lessons and blessings. And farm. Well, farm can mean that we lived on a farm, we worked on a farm. In some way, farm was definitely impactful upon us. Or it can mean something more like we need to try to adapt a more minimalist lifestyle, a simpler life. Like we're doing too much. And, it's time to get back to, how they say, get back to, like the natural ways of doing things, the simple ways of doing things, when people did a lot for themselves by hand, and they used the earth in healthy ways, and they weren't destructive of it. They were respectful of the earth and of animals. It's time to get back to that sort of time and place. Lessons and blessings. And communal living. Well, many of us live this way, where you didn't even need money. We just exchanged our talents for barter. And a lot of us are still stuck in that mode. A lot of us, to the other extreme, trying to rip each other off, stuck in that kind of destructive, negative mindset of, I need, and it's unhealthy, but it comes from an experience of where you had to share in both cases. And so we're being revisited by some of that. And in both cases, you need to break free of the chains that are binding you to, to greed, or to a feeling of not being deserving or worth, and you shouldn't be paid for your work. Neither is healthy. Other things that come with communal living, it is about sharing space and respecting others, and being able to both give and receive, and to rely on people and be vulnerable, because you need the neighbor in order to help you to raise your child and all of that sort of thing. Lessons and blessings. We'll do one more. It is Greco-Roman. So when this card shows up, we have some sort of connection to maybe Greece or Rome, right? Or Europe in general, maybe. The architecture, the Latin languages, the men, the women. We don't know why. We certainly might not be, Greek or Roman at all now. but in a past lifetime we had some sort of connection. So now we're enchanted by the art, and we just feel like a longing to visit, even though we don't know why. We're from Minnesota. Never been to Greece or Italy before. Why do I feel so drawn to it? From a past life. Lessons and blessings. I'm going to cut. Native American. So similarly, it's very likely that in past lifetime you were Native American, or perhaps you were one of the pilgrims. You encountered Native Americans. These Native Americans were some way impactful upon you. And so again, similarly, you may be drawn to Native American art and not know why. Or you may just feel a natural urge and pull to be a shaman. And you're like, well, where's this coming from? I was a banker up until all of a sudden I started feeling this. What's this shaman thing about? It's your soul trying to help you to remember. Overall energy is karmic relationship. Now, karmic relationship is not the same as karmic relationship for me. When I put karmic in air quotes, it's because I'm using it the way that so many people have come to use it, which is as like a derogatory term. Oh, that's her karmic. Oh, that's his karmic. And it's like a negative thing. That's not the way karmic was meant to be used. Karmic means of the universe, destined, containing a lesson. Remember I started out with lessons and blessings, and I said how positive that was? Okay, so the same thing applies here. Karmic relationships can be super positive. A divine union, a twin flame relationship, is essentially a karmic relationship. They are all karmic. All of the soulmate attachments that contain a lesson, good or bad, or that we feel is good or bad, they're all good in the end. When you learn something and you heal an area, that it's good, even if you go through a struggle in order to do it. But they're all karmic. So when karmic relationship, the card shows up in this deck, it means that one or both of you are feeling something unresolved. Your soul is acknowledging that something is unresolved, that there's an imbalance that has yet to be resolved, yet to be addressed. And until we do, it's just going to keep repeating itself over and over and over again. Okay. It's been number 1, number 2, number 3. Take a moment to connect intuitively with whichever card to which you feel drawn, pulled, resonant. Those who chose number 1, spirituality and religion. It's possible that you were some sort of religious authority. Perhaps you were a deacon, a priest, a nun, some other sort of minister, or just a very religious person, a Mormon. The families that live in Pennsylvania. I can't think right now, but they're very religious. The young Springer people. I can't think of it. It's a mental block. But people that are just very committed to religion. And, it's sort of followed you. And it's like drawing you to hold on to ideologies and things that I don't want to say that they're bad, I don't want to say that they're bad, because I do feel that everyone could benefit from following the commandments, let's say. And there's a version of the commandments in every religion that I've ever, read about, that's for sure. But what I'm trying to say is whatever the ideologies were, they don't necessarily align with your life now, you know? So it's something from which you need to break free. But you were like raised a certain way in possibly in this lifetime too. And so you're it's like a struggle with, how can I be myself, basically. I'm going to read from the book as well, all of these. I'm just giving you my feelings, what's coming from the cards first. Those of you who chose number 2, Atlantis. Wow. Okay, well, Atlantis is no more. And that may be what you're feeling, like a longing for what used to be. And you may remember in pieces, or your soul remembers when you were there. You may have a particular affinity now for water. I know I have to be near the water. When I want to be by myself and stuff, I walk down to the seaport and I sit on the dock. A lot of times I'll film from there, you know, let you guys know that I'm down there. Atlantis was destroyed, or said to have been destroyed, because people got ahead of themselves, right? They got these big heads, these big egos. Ooh, like look what I can do. Like how people are starting to do now here, down here. They call themselves God or whatever. I'm not gonna, you know, make any judgment against that, but that is described as basically what happened in Atlantis. These people were of a higher vibration than we are now. So your former self, likely far more godlike than you are today. But they got ahead of themselves and started like thinking themselves God, period, with a capital G, as opposed to gods and goddesses with lowercase g's. And according to the Emerald Tablets, which is an actual archaeological find, not like a myth or something, discovered, I believe, somewhere around the year 1600. I don't remember the exact year anymore. By a Hispanic man, a Latin man. So this is a historical fact. I'm just not sure about the year. You guys can Google it and check it out. They're believed to have been written by Thoth himself about the experience in Atlantis. So when I draw this card, or when this card is drawn, it's like you're remembering, or your soul remembers, the devastation and also the beauty of that lifetime, and is longing to resolve issues with both. You may want to, how can you use it now to further yourself? You may want to read the Emerald Tablets. I think they have some versions, even like on audio and stuff, on like the internet. Google the Emerald Tablets. Those of you who chose number 3. Trust and faith. Well, this is a beautiful one. With trust and faith, your trust and faith, unfortunately, may have been taken advantage of. I mean, this card from me can go either way. It can mean very positive things, and it can mean that we were used because we were such a, you know, good person at heart ourselves. And I hate to think of that one being how it relates to us, but it is a possibility. I'll read them from the book now. So I'm going to go back and begin with spirituality and religion. Everyone's soul enjoys varied experiences and opportunities, so it's very common for us to explore a number of different religious spiritual paths as we travel through lifetimes. While spiritual growth and knowledge accumulate during all lifetimes, the specific spiritual religious path differs in each one. Perhaps the religion with which you were raised doesn't coincide with your true beliefs. See, this is what I was saying. It doesn't align with you. It doesn't allow you to be your real self. That's exactly what I was feeling. This acknowledgement may trigger guilt, fear, or shame. unless you're aware of the bigger picture. Your spiritual knowledge is housed within your soul, and you're an eternal being who is forever connected to the divine infinite wisdom. This card asks that you explore alternative spiritual and religious paths. There, you will find the inner peace and answers that you seek. So there's your guidance right there. If you chose card number 1, you move to go ahead, and even if you were raised Christian or Jewish or Hindu or Muslim or whatever, Buddhist, you're guided to go ahead and take a leap and travel the spiritual path that your soul is directing you towards. Atlantis. Your lifetime in ancient Atlantis is affecting your current situation. You have soul memories of this idyllic civilization that offered every imaginable wonder. There's a longing for the utopia that you unconsciously remember, and which you know is possible in this world. Your soul also remembers the tragic ending of Atlantis, and you may have developed phobias about the ocean as a result. Although you love the sea, perhaps you prefer not to go swimming or sailing. You also may recall how the majority of Atlanteans were peace-loving, with the exception of a few political leaders who misused crystal power to the detriment of all. So you may be extra sensitive to issues relating to political corruption in this lifetime. Well, tell me about it. I sure am. That's why I do all this volunteer work and stuff and sit on boards that allow me to fight injustice. Trust and faith. The question that you're asking today is connected to the levels of trust and faith that you have. These two qualities affect the amount of fulfillment, peace, and joy that you experience. If you find that you don't trust yourself, others, or even life itself, the reason may be rooted in prior lifetimes. This card may also indicate a past lifetime where you were betrayed by a specific person who was in your current life. That's what I was feeling most. That's why I was saying, like, I feel like you were used or something because you were so trusting. So there could be somebody near you, those of you who chose number 3, that is not your friend. They don't like you. They don't love you. Whoever this person is. It can be a family member. It can be a friend, a co-worker or something. This is a hater. This is also true with respect to the amount of faith that you have in the universe and God. Look at the other cards that you drew surrounding this one. So I don't remember what else I mean, other than these, what else I had landed on when I was shuffling, but you guys can rewind and see what else was, near these cards, or maybe you want to, take a look at these. These two also resonate with you. Those of you who chose number 3, that's possible too. So look at the ones surrounding this one for clues as to which lives may have shattered or boosted your faith or trust. You drew this card as a sign to have faith and trust in your prayers, and that your prayers will be heard and answered. While it's true that you learn from the past, it's also important to live in the moment without clouding it with past pain. And if your faith and trust issues are directed at certain individuals, listen to these feelings, as they may be a red flag warning to heed. You can forgive someone for past lifetimes and also follow your inner guidance to avoid him or her in this lifetime if it is warning you, there's some sort of inner guidance warning you to distrust this person. I hope that you guys find this helpful. Again, if you need a reading or any services that I provide, hit me up on social media or email queenofswordsthelightworker@gmail.com or on my website, queenofswordsthelightworker.com. Namaste, angels.